Now I request Sapam Ranvi Singh sir to felicitate Dr. Tilok Thakuria sir. Thank you, sir. I now hand over the proceedings of today's book discussion program to Dr. Sapam Ranvi Singh sir, who is the Regional Director of IGNC Regional Center Guwahati. Over to you, sir.
So a very good afternoon, all of you. After seeing the audience, all the young audience over here, yeah. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all in today's our book discussion program. So among us, we have our respected chairperson, Professor Desmond L. Khermaoflang sir. He's the HOD, head of the Department of Culture and Creative Studies, Northeastern Hill University, Nehu Shillong. And we have a senior person with us, Dr. Tilok Thakuria sir. And head of the Department of History and Archaeology, Tura Campus, Northeastern Hill University. So I again welcome you all in our today's book discussion, especially. So IGNCA, it's a cultural organization, it's a research organization under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. So we have like IGNCA, we used to do research, documentation and dissemination of Indian art and culture. When we talk about Indian art and culture, I mean that in the art it comes like the written literature, oral traditions, and then visual arts, and then performing arts, and then even filmmaking, documentary making, and then even the impact of Indian culture in the Southeast Asian countries also. So all these areas and all these mandates, we used to do research and we used to document it, we used to disseminate it. So, and then this part of book discussion, it's also part of the IGNCA, because in IGNCA, we used to organize many seminars, conferences, book discussions, panel discussions, and then even many performing activities, performance based on the Indian art and culture. So in the IGNCA, we have 9 regional centers spread across the 9 cities in India. In Northeast India, for including Sikkim, we have the center in Guwahati. So the Guwahati center covers all the Northeastern center. So today the book discussion is on basketry, everyday art of Northeast India. This book is written by Professor Dr. A.K. Das. He's an Assamese professor, and then he was he was served in the National Museum Institute, Dim University at Maulana Azad Chair Professor in 1996. After that, he joined agency as a coordinator in Janpat Sampada Division. Janpat Sampada Division is a research wing of IGNCA. So in Janpat Sampada, the broad research themes is about the Lok Parampara. Lok Parampara means studies of the lifestyle studies of different communities of India. And then we have Kshetra Sampada, which is again regional studies. So under the Lok Parampara Lok Parampara research theme, this book, I mean, we have another that ethnographic collections of all the arts or all the handicrafts, all the crafts of different parts of India. So with that collection, so Professor Ekedas prepared a catalog, I mean, which is this book, a catalog about 121 different bamboo and basketry objects, artifacts from the northeastern states. So he prepared thoroughly brief description about the book and describing the each and individual tribal communities who prepared this, and the thorough description about the even the preparation, and then even the dyeing methods and the techniques, and then different things are, I mean, and it's like tremendous, and they have thorough research work. With this thorough research work, this collection comes, and then this catalog was prepared. So today we are going to hear from the experts. Then we have 2 experts among us. So first of all, I would like to request our chairperson, sir, to throw a light on about this book. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sapam Ranabir Singh. A very good afternoon to members of the audience. It is encouraging to see young faces I'm also happy to see some of my PhD scholars in attendance. Uh, I would like to start by asking a couple of questions. How long do we have for this interaction? We have 1 hour. Okay. And are we also going to be joined by Professor A.K. Das? Okay, so he's not joining. Okay. Now, the third question is the copy of the book which I have received is already a published work. Okay, published by IGNCA. Okay, okay. Uh, yeah, I've gone through this work, I've gone through this book, and I have, during the course of my discussion, I will have quite a few observations to make. I will also have recommendations, um, which perhaps, if a reprint is being contemplated, then the book might, would be a much, in a much more presentable form. Okay. Uh, so I would like to reserve my comments for later because we would like to go on with the contributions that our discussants will make this afternoon. Uh, so I would like to invite Dr. Thukuria to maybe briefly make your comments on the book for about 7 to 8 minutes, and then we can go on to the next discussion, and then perhaps I could, um, I could incorporate the points, and and of course, at the end of the interaction, we will also invite questions from members of the audience. Okay, so Dr. Thakuria, could you please make your comments?
Uh, Thank you, sir. It's indeed my pleasure to get opportunity to discuss about this book. I am archaeologist and I do mainly ethnography and ethnoarchaeology. If I see from that perspective, I find my interest on this book. This book, this Dr. Das started the book with giving some summary about Northeast. Then he discussed about the historical background of Northeast. Then he has given demography of Northeast, description about all the 7 states of Northeast. Then he has also given a historiographic writing about the basketry among the Northeast. Then the technology. So that is the first chapter about in the book. After that, we find some pattern, formula, how baskets of different community they used to knit. Then the catalog, proper catalog after that, each item. So the items the baskets he has included in this book, actually he has done it from their own collection. What I understand from the book that it is not the field work he has conducted and collected the item. It was already there in the museum, in their museum, then he has made a catalog of that. So indeed, that is very good initiative because otherwise items come to museum and remain like that for long. And then in the museum only it get destroyed. So history get disappear like that. So it is, in fact, indeed, from that perspective, this effort is very nice. And that book has come out for us. Now we know, without visiting the museum of IGNC now, at least we know what kind of baskets are there in IGNC museum. And for the researcher, that will be good reference. Apart from that, if we see from research perspective, I think we can expect more if in future the IGNC has planned to elaborate that book with addition of new collection. I think some points can be added because in catalog what we see is the name of the basket, which community it belong, and what purpose it was used. Just very briefly it has mentioned, but for catalog purpose it is fine. But if we think that we can do some more, I think uh, every material culture in society has some symbolic meaning. So if it is possible, the IGNCA take up a project of on same line, state-wise, of documenting the bamboo basket of different community and come off like a encyclopedic volume of basket of Northeast India. It would be very good and helpful for the all researchers. From as an archaeologist, from my point of view, what we understand that in India, India has a long tradition of craft, and if you see from archaeological point of view, we have the evidence of making craft going to Upper Paleolithic period, which is around 35,000 years ago. You know, the example we are having a beads made on ostrich eggshell. By the in Pleistocene time, the ostrich bird was there in India, but because due to climatic conditions, climatic changes, so they disappeared. So now in that evidence of the earliest craft in India has come from a site called Patne in Maharashtra, in Jalgaon district. So this is the earliest evidence of craft in India so far. After that, we see the development of different type of craft, bangle making, bead making with glass, other craft, terracotta, with the emergence of Indus Valley civilization. So we have a long tradition of making craft in archaeological point of view and also from in ethnographic record. And now, if we see the history of basket, you know, from archaeological point of view, you know, we all know that during the Neolithic time, people started making pottery because it was the time of evolution of agriculture. And pottery, they did not, probably our ancestor, they did not suddenly start to make pottery probably. The idea of having pottery must have come from this kind of baskets only, either bamboo basket or can basket. Why? Because some of the pottery that we discover from the archaeological excavation, we find a basket mark of it because they first used to make a basket with either bamboo or maybe can. After that, they used to apply the mud over it, then they used to burn it. Then they get the shape of the pottery. So that means we have the tradition of basket also in India, not very long if we see archaeological point of time. So these things, if though A.K. Das has included very briefly, there is scope that we can also in future can be added more to if this new edition come to this book. I'm sure that IGNC might have come with the idea of having a new edition of this book, so that can be, I think, added. And other very interesting thing that fascinated me in this book is that the formula of knitting. I know, this is very, nowadays very rare to see that how that actually will preserve the tradition. Otherwise, if you're keeping only the basket in the museum, basket may get, if the preservation is condition is not good, maybe basket may destroy. But the formula he has recorded in the book, how basket design has been knitted, that will remain forever. So that thing gave me very particular interest in this book. I think he has not given the formula for all the baskets, but for some of them, he has given the basket that how the design they used to knit. So then I believe that this book will help the scholars in particularly who are working in this field, and also in the general public to know the tradition of basketry in Northeast India. So with that, I think I'll stop.
Thank you, Dr. Thakuria, for your introductory remarks. Now I invite the Regional Director of IGNCA to make his comments.
Okay, thank you, sir. So regarding Thakuria, sir, like say, yeah.
Switch it on.
So, sir, you are mentioning about the collections. Actually, regarding this collection, I would like to say that this collection actually in Nigeria, it's a part of the research and documentation project part. So there, the team from my agency, especially, I think most probably Professor Akedas himself, he might have collected all this because these collections are from the fieldwork collections. So we used to conduct fieldwork in different parts of the Northeast, and then in Janpat Sampada, we have Northeast Study Center since the establishment of the agency, and then ethnographic collection is a part of the agency. So not only the bamboo crafts and different other items like different other artifacts and even the crafts we used to collect, and then the collection there we used to prepare the catalogs and we used to prepare the what do you say, prepare the reports about that, so that the young generations and the futures and the researchers, whenever they want to do research in future also, so that they can collaborate and they can take as a reference cited those artifacts. And so in agency, that in the archives we have all these collections, subject collection. So there, that what do you say, by consulting the particular individual of the community and the experts, they used to do all this kind of documentations, and then the collection of the documentation. Later, we used to even exhibit. So we used to showcase all these items, especially in recently in 2019, most probably I may be subject to correction in 2019, in one of the a big exhibition and a cultural event was held in Sankardev Kalakshetra in 2019, and it's called Long Manthan. There, the basketry and then even the textiles of Northeast was showcased during that time. So this kind of exhibitions, from time to time, we used to exhibit and mount exhibitions regarding the collections of the agency also. So in this book, Dr. Das, he wanted to describe about the importance of the bamboo, because it's a very part and parcel of all the communities of Northeast. So in different communities of Northeast, so he described thoroughly about them by starting, as you said, sir, starting about the land and the people and the culture of the Northeast, and then he started about the different states, including the Sikkim, about the cultural contours of different communities of Northeast. He started with this and come up with the descriptions about the this making of the basketries and then the designs and the dyeing methods, coloring methods. So different methods he described, and as you said, sir, also even about the what you said, the formulas, that how we used to prepare that one. So even, I mean, what do you say, even someone who understood this craft, once if he come to know that, I hope that he may be able to prepare the craft in any type of artisans, a master artisans, he may be able to prepare. So in such a way, he prepared the book. So regarding this collection, so and then what you said, there are few like the importance, even in the mention also, he mentioned especially in the Assamese language, some few words which I would like to just explain about the importance of this. Some So there, he mentioned some of the proverbs like which normally used in our society, in mentioning the importance of the bamboo. So how bamboo is. There is a what do you say, a line or sentence which I just come across while reading this book. Yeah, here, sir. So as a tradition craft would remain incomplete unless the entire gamut of the bamboo culture of Northeast India is properly understood and outlined through academic interaction. Bamboo is not just the raw material provided by the environment for household requirements. It comprises of an entire range of tangible and intangible cultural heritages, shaping the lifestyles of the people from time immemorial in this part of the country. The scores of ethnic groups inhabiting the rugged hills, damp valleys, and inhospitable marshy places of the region have successfully adapted to the environment by utilizing the appropriate raw materials provided by nature, of which bamboo is the foremost one. So here he used in the local dialect of the Assamese, Barire Pishare Ba, Gas Ajupi Kyu Mur Kahut Dar Bai, Jiati Thaku Mane Karo Kami Kathi Mariliu Lagate Jai. So this is in Assamese, this is the De Bishar Git. So in the English, it is translated like this: the bamboo grove behind my house is my dear brother. In my lifetime, I play and work with it. In my death, it goes to the grave with me. So Shuphi Recluse song again in Assamese. So these are some of the proverbs that which he used in this, citing the importance of the bamboo in our life, in our like the people of the Northeast people. So I was born and brought up in a small village. I was just would like to express something, sir, about my experience of the bamboo basket making. So my grandfather used to prepare the bamboo. I mean, it's a part of the. I think in Manipur, almost in my community, almost all the aged persons, they know how to prepare this bamboo. Somehow, all the aged persons, they used to prepare. So by looking at them, sometimes also we used to learn from them. And then there are different, bamboo. We use like all the baskets, and then there are different baskets assigned, and especially in the marriage ceremony in my community. So the bamboo basket is very important. And in among what you say that we used to put all the religious ritual items which are like bamboo is used in the form of purity. So some we used to put the pure religious or ritual items there in the bamboo. Again in and there is a very like there is a marine community. Marine community, it comes under what you say this in the political term. It comes under the Naga community. So there, during my fieldwork, I come to across that we used to say in our proverb, in Manipuri proverb, we used to say that maring na saba sangbaibu namalit pahona de. Means that they used to prepare the skill that how these communities, they used to prepare the basket in such a way that even the water cannot be leak out and cannot seep out from that bamboo. So it's a kind of proverb that which we use. And then the baskets, and during the, even till now, sir, till now, we are using that as a, measuring instruments. So we use, and like universal standard, we use SI units, like for measuring like kilogram, and then ton for measuring. But in Manipur, in my community, so especially in the barter system type, that exchange of the goods with the goods, we use this kind of baskets for measuring the, and then for what you said, measuring especially the items like the rice and other raw materials, and even the vegetables also. So we use this kind of. So Dr. Das, Professor Das, he tried to at least highlight something, the importance of the baskets in, especially among the communities of Northeast India. Of course, there are like almost in this book, the catalog prepared in this book is about around 121 collections. So I think that there might be some of them still that which not covered yet, because we have so many, more than 200, I think, sir, if I'm not wrong, more than 200 different communities. In my state itself, only there are 33 communities, different communities. So each and every community, there has a unique tradition of making the textiles and making the baskets and making other things. So overall, he tried to highlight this. So these are some of my opinions, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for your comments. I would like to start by picking some points from what Dr. Thakuria has made. It's very interesting that, Thakuria, you referred to the Upper Paleolithic period. Because I come from a state which has given its name to a portion of the Holocene period, which is the Meghalayan age, which roughly describes about 4,200 years of this planet's life. But then it is also that period which saw the destruction of many civilizations in the Middle East, in Egypt, I think in South America also, and including the Indus Valley civilization. So what is interesting about that period is that it probably saw, it was a period that also probably saw, the first, how shall I put it, the first marks of basketry, which later on, which formed the frame for pottery, to be developed, as you mentioned. So that way, basketry is something which is ubiquitous, especially to Northeast India. It is ubiquitous because we have raw material for that. Just in Meghalaya, I think we have about 42 species of bamboo. Okay, 42 species of bamboo. And I have worked in places, I have worked in villages that whose people, whose inhabitants have such a fantastic and such an extensive knowledge about bamboo that they can fashion bamboo into any object, into anything. So, what is interesting about basketry is that, especially in my community, is that it spans the entire life of a person, right from birth till the time she or he demits this world. He or she is carried out in a bamboo hearse. Okay, and when the baby makes its appearance into the world, the umbilical cord is severed, is cut by a bamboo, a sharp bamboo. So this is the kind of this is the significance that bamboo has in our culture. Uh, Also, I think Thakuria also made this point, very interesting point about about the kind of basketry practices that we have, which are again linked to several rituals, linked to ceremonies. For instance, in the Khasi tradition, in the tradition of my community, we have specific baskets that accompany the rites of passage, from birth to initiation to marriage and death. There are very highly specialized baskets that are being used, to on the journey that a person makes through the rites of passage. Now, this is something that I find absent in this book. So I have made, I am going to make suggestions uh, that perhaps when there is a contemplation on the part of the IGNCA to go for reprint, I think it has to be thoroughly revised, because there are so many things that are missing. Professor Das, the scholar that he is, has made a wonderful effort here, but I think the effort that he made were based largely on, not on field work, but on work that he conducted at the museum. Okay, so, the field imperative is very much missing. The field imperative is missing because each object has to be informed by a certain belief, by a certain narrative, by a certain performance, even sometimes by a certain musical score, so that that object becomes very, very rich, there is also a wrong depiction in a few visuals. For instance, there's a basket which comes from my community, which is called shankwai. Now, the shankwai is the basket where betel nut and betel leaf are kept, okay, along with the knife and the lime container. But it is never covered. There is never a lid on the shankwai. But the picture that shows shankwai there has a lid. You cannot have a lid on a shankwai, otherwise the betel leaf will become spoiled. Will become spoiled. It's very practical. See, so these are the anomalies that I have detected, and there is also missing a very important piece of basketry that is called pra in Khasi. Pra. Now, for the information of those who are not aware, the member of parliament representing Shillong, okay, won from a party whose official symbol is a basket, which is called pra. Now, that is also not found there. Okay, so, pra is recognized in the Indian parliament. So why can't it find its place here in this book, right? Because pra is the name of that basket. It is a winnowing basket. It is a winnowing basket, but it is not found here. But it is actually the official symbol of a political party that has sent one member of parliament from Shillong. Okay, so so these are the things that I have to make for the moment. And now we go back to Dr. Thakuria.
Thank you, sir. No, it came to my mind that You know, when we discuss about the importance of bamboo in a society, and bamboo is really very integral part of our, not only Northeast, for whole Southeast Asia. You know, there is a debate in archaeology when we go for excavation and exploration, we find very less pottery. So this is the problem among the archaeologists, that why in Southeast Asia and Northeast India, our quantity of pottery is less. So now I met one archaeologist from ANU who works in South State, working in Laos, because I'm associated in working on stone jar problem of Assam and Meghalaya with ANU. Then I asked him, I told him, sir, we born on bamboo, we eat bamboo, we die on bamboo. So everything is bamboo. We cook in bamboo. We carry water in bamboo. We make a bed of bamboo. When we die, we go on bamboo. So as sir mentioned, that our when we umbilical cord also cut by bamboo, because bamboo is not having antiseptic. So you don't get. So it is good. So now, when bamboo is very integral part of our society, and the song that Dr. Singh has mentioned, it is another category of song in Assam called Jikire. You know, Ajahn Pir in 15th century, when he came to Assam, he was settled in Upper Assam and started preaching his message through some Assamese style of song. Even that, he has compared bamboo with brother. He said that বাড়িরে সুকরে জাতি বা এসুপি হিউ মুর হহুদর ভাই. That means the bamboo tree is having backside of his house, that is also like his brother. Now he's explaining why he's like brother, because we are together, we, we are eating together, we are sleeping together, I'm going together when I'm die. So that means we cannot think our indigenous way of life without bamboo. And now, you know, this rainy season, we love to eat bamboo. And bamboo food, I don't personally, too, I like it so much. So now, if we want to discuss or we want to write what bamboo has given us and how bamboo has shaped our cultural way of life, I think we can write volumes after volumes. On different aspect, we can write one volume. And in that line, this book is very important. That is why at least something has been started, some initiative has been started, and whatever it is there in course of time, IGNCA will take care to improvise the thing. Thank you.
So, would you care to comment on that, on what Thakuria has said? Or, yeah, or perhaps you could share whether there is any plan, you know, to go for a reprint of the book, or whether IGNCA is contemplating any project that will further enhance, you know, the significance of this book, because it is a well-deserved work, but it needs revision.
So I fully agree with you. So regarding that, about the narratives and even the life, the passages, so which when we say about from the sins to the birth and till death. So when we talk about life, the passages, so it is even related with our culture and even all the communities in Northeast. So regarding Thakuria sir's and Desmond sir's opinion with this book, I fully agree with that, because this is just a catalog and just a beginning, mentioning about the different bamboo collections of IGNCA, especially in the ethnographic collections. So in future, I will try, sir, definitely, because bamboo is a very part and parcel and a very important, we can say, even we cannot tell bamboo we can consider as a living being. I mean, living in the form, of course, like a human living being we can consider. So I will try my level best to come up with some of the research works, and especially and going down thoroughly, and then with the in-depth research about the bamboo, especially in all among the communities of Northeast India, especially in particular. And sir, I would also like to mention one more thing regarding the bamboo. I did my PhD and postdoctoral fellowship from Punjab University, Chandigarh Department of Anthropology. In my neighbor, there is Department of Botany. So one of my senior and professor from, she's a professor from Manipur. And she's also right now, I think, heading the department. So her research works on some of her research works in bamboo, and now even she has started preparing biscuits made of bamboo, sir, from Nordics. And that was presented even in Korea, also in different international conferences. And then most of her research works carried out on bamboo, and especially the varieties she used to, like different, as you said, sir, even in your state, you have around more than 40 species of bamboo. So in my state, it might be having that, I don't know, I don't have much knowledge regarding the species. And she started like doing research work, and then the importance of the bamboo, not only in the form of like tangible or intangible cultural heritages, but even sir, in the eatable forms as a food items also, sir. So far it has already been started. So it's in my mind, sir. In future, I'll definitely take care of the points which you have pointed out, sir, so that we can come up with a, sir, the importance of each and every community, the narratives you are talking about, the oral traditions you are talking about, and even from the cutting of the umbilical cord and for carrying out even after the death, for the final destination for carrying out also we use the bamboo. Sir, not only in that also like, yes, even in my community, sir, especially bamboo, still now the dry bamboo, even the dry bamboos are used for construction of the concrete work also, sir, for making the frame and for especially without bamboo. So it's like a very important even, sir, items for even in my community also, sir, with this. Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I would like to further corroborate what the two discussants, the two panelists have added. Bamboo is simply ubiquitous to our lives. It's simply intrinsic to our lives. It's ubiquitous. It's found all over Northeast, and we consume bamboo. When we inaugurate our lives, it is also through bamboo, and when we exit this life, it is also to the accompaniment of bamboo. One of the very interesting things which I've seen um, in the southern part of Khasi Hills is this was long back when I saw that bamboo mats were given to the newly married couple as wedding gifts. This is a beautiful gesture, I thought, because it symbolizes that from now on they will be sleeping together. They will be occupying a common space, and this bamboo mat symbolizes that. This is something very profound, I thought. But of course, now, especially in the city, you don't see people giving wedding gifts, giving bamboo sleeping mats as gifts, because it would be too cumbersome and all that. Uh, there is a museum called the Mathers Museum of Culture. This is in the United States. So I was fortunate to have been involved with its work, and they also have a special interest in bamboo. You know, I uh, was uh, I was given the opportunity to have a look at one of their monographs of bamboo basketry, which they collected in the Guangzhou province in China. It is simply amazing. The range and the diversity of bamboo objects that that province of China produces is simply amazing, you know. And it it goes on to remind us that bamboo uh, not only forms a very important part of our lives, but it also assists, you know, uh, it also provides that fundamental, uh, that basic life sustaining and life enhancing qualities that human beings require, you know. So you talk about the basket, you talk about the special baskets that are being used as fish traps. Of those we have plenty. I've seen plenty also in Manipur. Beautiful fish traps that they have. They look almost like sculpture. They look like pieces of sculpture. And I remember taking one of those fish traps, Khasi fish traps, which we call shrip. It doesn't have a place here. Then we also have what is called shankhawiya. This is also a fish trap. So I had taken these fish traps to Europe, to Switzerland, when I was teaching there, and my colleagues and the students thought that they were actually pieces of sculpture. They wanted those to be displayed because they thought they were pieces of sculpture. I said, no, no, these were made by people in a village. You know, they are fish traps. Oh my goodness, you trap fishes with baskets? I, yes. See, so this is the kind of thing that generates quite a lot of interest, you know, for people who especially people coming from countries that have never even seen bamboo. See, so I think with these comments, we can invite, we can invite questions if there are any questions, or we can invite points of clarification that someone might like to seek. We have the experts here who will be able to respond, to your, or even if you have contributions to make, ideas to share about bamboo basketry, you are welcome to do so. Is there a microphone that can go there?
I would to add something actually. A few days back, I was in Shillong. Then I attended one Northeast conclave, and they are working for the poorest of the poor. Some scheme they are doing, and they are looking for the alternative option for to generate their income. What I suggested them that now we talk about sustainability, and in this we have traditional craft, and we have not looked out to our traditional craft to develop in a entrepreneurship. And you see, now one of my PhD scholar, she did on the material culture of Garos, and then when she went to village for documenting this material culture of Garos, what she found that most of the people slowly things are forgetting, and whatever remains are whatever there, that is also in not good state of preservation. And so here now time has come that now we have to think to revive the tradition. If we want to revive the tradition, we just cannot just revive it like that. We have to also bring the economic aspect to it. So we have to revive the tradition in a way so that after giving training to the villagers or maybe in the universities, university level, then they can go up for the entrepreneurship by themselves. So in that way, your tradition also remain continued, and also the person who is doing it also are having economic benefit. So I think that time has come now that even with the implementation of NEP also, where we talk about income generating courses and all, I think it is time also that university also need to think from this line, that we bring out the traditional technology, the traditional craft to the university, teach to our student, or design some course that they can take up further and they can get an economic benefit from this. This is one always strike to my mind. And then I was from last, when we started designing our NEP course, initially we designed a course called Craft of India, History of Craft in India. And then we dropped it because we thought that, okay, we have to bring little economic value to this also, because only teaching on the craft of India, that this is basket, this is that, will not make it only sense. So we have to do something else also. So maybe in future we may also, because we have an MBA department in Tura, so maybe in collaboration with that we can do something. And second point, what I want to make is that intangible aspect of this basket. You know, every basket, as sir mentioned, the Professor Desmond sir already mentioned that every basket is meant for something. You know, sometimes now we do not know the meaning of this, so we want to do everything in one single basket, but it is not like that. Basket was made for a specific purpose, because it cognitive aspect of that we have to understand. We have to understand the human mind and human cultural behavior. So we cannot take basket only a basket. Then the basket is also a medium to express our way of behaving in a culture. So it has so much thing to learn from the basket. So we just cannot think it as okay, it is made from bamboo or something is there, some purpose it has been used. It has history in it. It has our history in it. So we have to think from that line also. And now, and I think this is good time now. New generations, they have to go back to villages. They have to go back to their own culture to document this thing. And this is our responsibility. If we do not do, then who will do? As an insider, we can produce much better than from the outsider view. So this is all of our responsibility that we have to do something. Thank you, sir.
I would just like to supplement what Dr. Thakuria said. There is a village very close to Mausan Ram. Now, Mausan Ram is a village that experiences one of the heaviest rainfalls on earth. So there is a village called Sinteng, which is located very close to Mausan Ram, and that entire village is a bamboo basketry village. All the households located in that village are involved in bamboo basketry. So I have formulated one project from the university to involve those people in helping us design a vocational training course, a VTC, which will be part of the NEP, the new education policy. So this way, we get also the local artisans involved in pedagogy, involved in education, you know. So that way, it is a win-win situation for everyone, each contributing to the other, you know. So with these words, I would like to thank the panelists, Dr. Thakuria and Dr. Singh, for having participated and having enlivening this particular discussion, the discussion on bamboo basketry, which is really very, very crucial and which hopefully will form one of the backbones of our rural or folk culture. With these words, I thank everyone. I thank the audience, members of the audience who have participated, who have been in attendance, and I hope that this small interaction has been of some benefit to all of you. Thank you very much.
So finally, I would like to thank you, NBT, for providing that National Book Trust and for providing this platform for this book discussion. And I would also like to thank you, our Professor Sachidanand Joshi, sir, especially Member Secretary of IGNCA, under whose supervision and guidance this project is being, this workshop, this book discussion is being organized. So I would also like to thank you to this Chairperson Desmond, sir, and the discussion Thakuria, sir, especially for taking out time from the otherwise busy schedule and to participate in this book discussion. And last but not the least, I would like to thank you all the young audience over here who are, listening the discussion very carefully. I hope that this discussion at least makes some benefit to you people. So I would like to thank you all for taking out time and then giving your attendance, especially for this discussion. Thank you all. Yeah.